press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your social science class and the lesson business and industry. Now in the previous classes we have discussed about what is business, and in this lesson we discussed the introduction of how you take on business and the definitions that we had focused on. So we have learned certain definitions given by Stephenson and general definitions that were given. Today we are going to study objectives of business, and then we will get into trade, industry and service. So moving on, objectives of business. What is your main goal in doing these, doing business? Okay, there are two of them. There are two objectives that you have to focus on. Economic objectives and social objectives. So what are the two kinds of objectives? Economic objective and social objective. Let's see economic objective first. Now, basically see, business is done so that you advertise your products, you get a certain amount of profit. But business is not always making profit. There are other things which contribute to making business. Maybe it's being run by the family, or maybe there are people who are sharing and doing certain kind of business. So all this is contributing to what kind of business you are doing. See, business can we may not always get profit out of business. Sometimes we may just be standing in the average there. Sometimes we may have a loss. Now, what is the economic or what is the money related objective is, now how much you have spent. We'll take small figures, okay. If you have spent 100 rupees or 1000, okay, let's take 1000. 100 is too small. Just a simple figure, okay. Business is involving lakhs, crores, but we'll take a simple number, 1000. You have spent 1000 rupees for your product, what you wanted to do. At least will you expect 1500 in return, okay. When you have spent 1000, what do you think? At least if I get 500 rupees more, it will be enough. So that is the first objective here, making a reasonable profit. Okay, reasonable profit. I may not get all money that I have spent together, but something that I have spent, some little amount that I have spent, I can get back. Okay, earning a reasonable profit. We will see the next point and understand what is important here. Now, why is earning this money important? Now, he may be having a family business, or he may be having a business where they are sharing it. So when you are sharing it, at least when you get some money, you can lead a comfortable life. So to cover the cost that you have spent, you may have spent on your machines, you may have spent on materials that you bring. So all these factors when you have spent, you at least need some money that you want back, isn't it? So to cover the cost and to lead a comfortable life. Now Now, when you have led a comfortable life and when you can get at least some cost in return, okay, you are slightly happy with what is happening in your business. Now, we had studied business is supply of goods and you're giving your services to your consumers. So when your product is highly valued, when many people buy your products or many people like your services, your business also goes high, isn't it? But when people don't like it, when people don't buy your products, your business is coming down. Okay? Now, when there is supply of goods, when you are giving your products, when you are giving any service, what is happening? You are getting customers or consumers. Okay? Now, okay, you are supplying your goods and services. And what are you getting in return? Consumers. If they like your product once, they'll come to you again and again. Now, if your consumers like your products, you have to keep on producing, isn't it? As and when you need, you have to keep on producing. So, you have to produce goods. You have to produce goods that are enough for your consumers. Now, you should not allow your consumers to go empty-handed, isn't it? When they ask for your products, you should not be saying, I don't have. You should have that product. So, you will have to continuously produce your product. Okay? Now, when you do that, some kind of changes are also needed in the product. So, you must do changes in the product so that you can attract your customers. Alright, now how are you doing? You are adopting new techniques, you understand new techniques, you are making creative advertisements. Okay, now when you do that, okay, you are attracting your consumers through creative advertisements. Through creative advertisement, you are advertising your products to your consumers, and when you advertise your product to your consumers, they come to know and then they buy. When they buy, you have profit, and when you have profit, you have a comfortable life. So let's move on and understand the next objective, that is the social objective. Okay, next is social objective. Now, under social objectives, these products that are produced for the welfare or the development of the nation. So, you are producing goods and you are supplying the goods that are required for the development of the nation. Maybe at a cheaper rate. You give cheap rates and then you make your products so that you sell it for the development, for the need of the nation. Now, when you do this, it gives jobs or employment to many people, and then they get their wages or salary. So now there are daily wage workers who get paid daily. Now those who get salary, they get on a monthly basis. Now when this is done for the development of the nation, then people get jobs, maybe making bags or stitching something, okay, or maybe producing some good product that is given at a cheaper rate by the country to its consumers. Now when they get wages, when they get job, when they get money, what does it improve? It improves, okay, it improves their standard of living. It improves the standard of living. That is, they can lead a comfortable life. They can get their basic needs and they can get a comfortable life. Now this business that is there, it is also contributing, or it is also giving to the nation's income. So this business contributes to the economic development of the nation. That is, it is helping the country with money related, or financially it is helping the financially helping the country, economic development of the nation. Okay. Now how it is helping? How do businesses help? They pay taxes, okay, then they pay taxes, and then they do social welfare, that is, help the people that are there around them, okay. Social welfare, maybe they start their own schools, they start small areas where people get jobs, okay. They keep gardens, they keep public libraries where people can benefit. So these are the social objectives. Moving on, let's see trade, industry and service. Okay, trade, industry and service. Now, trade is a part of business, okay. Trade is a part of business. Now, what is trade? Trade is buying and selling of goods to the consumers. Buying and selling goods to the consumers is trade. Now this is divided into three types. The first one is home trade. Next one is foreign trade. Third one is entrepot trade. So 3 types. What are the 3 kinds of trades? Home trade, foreign trade and entrepot trade. Let's understand this one by one and see what are the important features in these kind of trades. So home trade, foreign trade and entrepot trade. Let's see home trade first. Home trade is some business that is happening within our country is home trade. What is home trade? Business that is happening within our country, inside our country is home trade. So business within the country is home trade. Now it is carried through. Now who does these kind of businesses within the country is retailers and wholesalers, okay. Now understand this, okay. Retailers and wholesalers. Let us understand retail trade first and retailers, okay. Now these people, these retailers, what do? They do their trade, they do their business at different places where their consumers live, okay. Have you seen people who come to your house selling cleaning items, maybe selling some mats, selling some clothes? Those are retailers. Wherever their consumers live, they come and sell your products. Now these retailers, they buy the product from these people, wholesalers. Okay, and after they buy, wholesalers give you at a cheaper rate. Retailers buy their products from wholesalers and then they give it to their consumers. Now these retailers get the link of dealing with their consumers. Now if you are doing your products in the factory, you simply send it to the market. You don't know who is buying that. But these retailers have direct contact with the consumers. So retailers are having direct link or direct contact with consumers because they are directly distributing the products to them, okay. Now what do these retailers do? They take different products of different people and take it, okay. See, now these, what do these retailers do? They take goods that are produced by different producers to their consumers. Now producer A, producer B and producer C, okay. Z is the retailer. Now what the person Z is doing? Z is taking products from A, products from B, products from C, and then he is going and giving it to his consumers. What is he doing? He is taking different products from different people so that he has access to many items, he gets many items and then he gives to his consumers. Now, see, when they take the products and give, they can have loss because nobody wants to buy it, or their goods may get lost, their products may get lost. These retailers will have to bear the risk of losing the goods. Okay, risk of what is that? Risk of loss in business or loss of goods. Risk in loss of business. Sometimes consumers may not want to buy. Then the products will not get sold, isn't it? That is why there is loss. Sometimes you may lose your goods, it may get lost. So that can give you a loss. Now, we'll understand further. We are continuing the 6th point of retail traders. Okay, the 6th point, right? The 6th point under retail traders. Now, they provide them facilities okay, the retailers or the people who are producing the goods, they give certain facilities to the consumers. Facilities like credit facilities, okay, or payment facilities. Next, they give information, retailers give information about the new goods. Have you seen they come, maybe they want to sell a washing powder, okay, they want to sell washing powder or a soap, and don't they tell you, if you take this, we give you this free for a sample use. Now that is how they are selling their new products. Why do they give, sometimes when you go to the market also, you have 3 shampoo bottles and 1 small packet or 2 packets with it. That is a sample use, it's a different shampoo, maybe their own product, they give you so that you can try it. Now if you like that packet, you will obviously buy the bottle of shampoo. So that's how they advertise it. Information about the new goods that are available in the market. Now when you go to the bazaar, when you go to the market, just see if there are any products like that where you get a sample bottle, where you get, if you take 3 soaps, you get 1 free, okay. So that's how they advertise their products. Now, sometimes if you don't like their product, sometimes if you want something that you specifically need something, that is, you have an idea that this is the product that I want, they give you information, or they give you alternate ways. Now suppose if they don't have the product that you want, they suggest you alternate ways. Now the best example is, if you go to a cloth store and you want the color yellow, but the color yellow is not there, the shade of yellow that you want is not there, okay. Now take this, okay, this shade of yellow you want, but this shade of yellow is not there, other shades of yellow is there. Now suppose they have 5 shades of yellow, okay, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, you want the 6th shade, but the 6th shade of yellow is not there. Then the shopkeeper will tell, no, it is slightly similar than this, it will match to what kind of yellow you have. Don't they tell you that? That is the same thing of giving you alternative ways for the products that you don't have, okay. Now retail trade is conducted, or retail trade is done in retail trade, there are important types in it. Now, there are permanent shops, okay, this division is under retail trade. There are types in that, that is permanent shop and mobile traders, okay. Mobile traders or itinerant. Itinerant or mobile traders. Okay. Now, two kinds in retail traders. What are they? Two types of retail traders: permanent shop, or itinerant or mobile traders. Let's understand the permanent shops and mobile traders. Permanent shops. Okay. Now, permanent shops are, they don't move. They are in the fixed place at all times, and they carry their trade. So, shops are at a fixed place. And this is the place they carry out their trade. Next one is itinerant or mobile traders. Okay. Now these don't have a fixed place. They keep moving from one place. Okay. They keep moving from one place to another. Now, have you seen, they move to places where they can make business. Now, certain food shops that are there on the streets, can you see? They don't have that fixed place. Whenever they get a place, they go there. Okay, like these candy bars where they sell these candy bars, they are keeping on moving. The bangle person there is keeping on moving. They are called as mobile traders. They don't stay in one particular place. They don't have a shop in one particular place, but they keep on moving. Whichever place they find, they keep on moving. And they don't know who their particular consumers are. Whoever comes on the way, they take away goods from them. Now, some examples under mobile traders are hawkers. Okay. Now, these hawkers are, they carry their goods on their head. The picture is given in your text, just check that. Carry goods on their head. And they keep on shouting or they are advertising their goods through their voice. So they are shouting of what goods they have. So they keep their goods on their heads and they move from one door to another or one place to another. Now, most of the things that come like these are vegetables, fruits, flowers, okay, fancy items. So they don't have a fixed place again because they are mobile traders and they carry their goods on their head and they are moving from one place to another. Next, under mobile traders are peddlers. Now they have that wheeled cart that they move and take. So they are carrying their goods okay on wheeled carts. and then they sell it to their consumers. Have you seen in the early morning they come with their carts, vegetables are brought, fruits are brought, okay, depending on what kind of things that they buy. They have a variety of vegetables with them, variety of fruits with them, okay. Next under this is street traders or footpath traders. Street traders or footpath traders. Now these are there when you are passing through a busy route or busy road, okay, and they are on the footpaths, they are selling maybe some fancy items or they are selling something else. Next among them is the weekly market sellers. Now these market sellers, they come to that way. Now if the city or if that place has their market on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, those people come on that day and then they sell. So they are going to different places, different towns. Now if your place has the market on Wednesday, next city has it on Thursday, so they come here on Wednesday, they go to the next place on Thursday and Friday, like that they move on. Now these people, the market sellers, usually buy the products that they have grown by themselves. So they grow vegetables, they grow fruits, okay, they have made any dairy product, they have the powders, okay, masala powders. So whenever consumers come, sometimes we have a particular person we buy things from, because we know that person's goods are good. So that's how they do their trade. So this was retail traders. So today we have studied objectives of business, economic and social. In trade and industry, we studied the three kinds, that is home trade, foreign trade and entrepôt trade. So we studied home trade in this class, and that is retail traders, and it was being divided into permanent and mobile traders. And these hawkers, peddlers, street traders and market sellers. In the next class, we will deal with wholesale traders and foreign trade and move on. Today we shall wind up the class here. Thank you very much, students.